Hello! Hi everybody! Hello, thank you for coming. Hi! I'm really excited to do a live. I used to do live streams a whole bunch before I ever went on Big Brother. I used to stream on an app called Live Me, and then I was streaming on Instagram, and I was doing like Twitch streams, and then I did YouTube streams for a while. So I really miss streaming. Streaming is super fun. So I'm already getting a lot of comments, so if I can't respond to every single one, I'm super sorry. But hi everybody. Oh, I love you all too. Thank you guys. Thank you. Let me see. I got a question. What is your biggest regret in the game? From Reem's Reality. I think there's probably a way to. Okay. My biggest regret in the game is definitely, I think that I really let the stress of the game get to me. I think that's very apparent in week 5 especially. I didn't handle being on the block very well, and so I really stressed out, and there was a lot of drama going on in week 5 with the fighting and the vote flip, and I definitely felt very isolated. I was doing one-on-ones with people and they were getting pulled out of the room. I knew that there was stuff going on in the house, but nobody would tell me what it was. And I felt very isolated and very stressed out because I was really, really worried about going home pre-jury. And from that moment on, I don't think I ever really recovered from that. As a result of just feeling so isolated and stressed, I just really clung on to Kyle because he was the only person really communicating with me at all at the time. And so I clung on to him, and then I was never able to recover from it from there to really put myself back into the social game. And that's definitely my own fault and probably my biggest regret, because I think that maybe I could have lasted, I don't know, maybe 1 more week or 2 more weeks max. No, it would have been 1 more week because there was a double. You know what? There really wasn't much I could do, you guys. The alliance was just too powerful. The cookout was just dominating. At the very best, I would have lasted 1 more week and been taken out in the double. So, I can't even pinpoint, I guess, a specific regret. But I did my best. So, there's 56 questions now. You were ahead of your time taking out Derek X. Would you ever go on another reality TV show besides Big Brother? I really want to go on Nailed It. Do you guys know the TV show Nailed It? It's on Netflix, and they basically take super, super amateur bakers, which that is me 100%, very amateur baker. And they give them these ridiculously pretty, artful desserts to make. And it's called Nailed It because they always just obliterate these recipes. And I think that I would be good on the show because I am a terrible baker. I am so bad. I have had numerous nightmare disasters happen in the kitchen. So I think I'm bad enough at cooking to get on the show, but I'm maybe good enough at artsy stuff to still make it look good enough to still win. So I think I'm bad enough to get on to Nailed It, but good enough to maybe win Nailed It. So I could totally see myself going on Nailed It. Okay, let's see. I'm not going to get through all of these questions. I'm sorry, but I will do my best. Okay, did you enjoy the jury house, and what was the best part? So, why would SB slay Gordon Ramsay? Thank you. I think I would. I would make Gordon Ramsay the idiot sandwich, So the jury house was actually really fun. Overall, I am super happy that I got to experience the jury house. It was really cool to hang out with everybody outside of the game, because just outside of that like layer of stress and worry and like wondering if everybody was lying to you, we all got to just actually know each other for like who we are and hang out and play games and be silly, and that really allowed me to bond with people from my cast in a way that I personally didn't while I was in the house. And so I'm really glad that I got that opportunity. I'm really grateful for it. Hello, everybody who's joining. I'm sorry I'm missing so many comments. There's just too many. I will do my best. Oh, a lot of these are about Dre. Okay, here we go. When are you going to stream Genshin Impact again? So for you guys who don't know what Genshin Impact is, it is an online role-playing game, like an MMORPG, whatever those things are called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like World of Warcraft, a game like that. And it's really, really beautiful, and I really liked it, and I used to stream it on my Twitch. I don't know if I'll get back into streaming that or not. I do kind of want to get back into streaming, but now I feel like I'm so behind in Genshin Impact. Like, I don't know if I could ever catch up. Like, the world must just be, like, so much more expanded, and all of my friends that I played with have to be, like, way out-leveled than me. So now I feel a little discouraged to go back and play it, but I do miss my boy Razor. He was my favorite from Genshin Impact. I loved all the Claymore characters were definitely just top tier. So I might go back and play it. It's a beautiful game. I do miss playing it. We'll see what happens. But I do kind of want to get back into Twitch streaming some games, because I did enjoy streaming on Twitch. That was super fun. What is your Twitch account? It's Greedy Kalina, so it's the same thing. I also saw someone ask like why I don't change my username. You know, the Big Brother stuff is probably going to be a little bit short-lived, so I'm not sure if I want to rebrand my whole online persona just for like this short period of time that I'm getting some fame from Big Brother. My stage name is Kalina. When I stream, I went by Kalina. When I perform at anime conventions, I go by Kalina. A lot of people who followed me and supported me didn't even know my real name was Sarah Beth until I went on Big Brother. So I don't really want to have to rebrand all of my stuff. I do want to keep my stage name. So Kalina is still going to be my stage name, and Greedy Kalina is still, for the time being, going to be my handle for everything. That's my YouTube, that would be my Twitch, that's my Instagram, that's my Twitter. I know it might be a little harder to find me, but I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. So I appreciate you guys dealing with it though, because I know it's weird. Most people just have it as like their name, but I don't want to change it. Greedy Kalina is so like special to my heart. Sorry. And like I had like a community of people, a very small community of people who were really supporting me, like the song covers that I was doing and things like that from before I ever went on Big Brother. And I never want to lose sight of that, because the people who were supporting me before I went into the house are the people who were really who really gave me the confidence to even go on Big Brother in the first place. So I never want to step too far away from my original community of fans, and that grew under Kalina, and so I'm definitely going to hold on to Kalina as long as I can. Notice me, please. My name is Ronald. Hello, Ronald. It's okay, SB. Look at our usernames. Okay. Let's see. Answer some more questions. Ooh. What shows did you watch at the jury house? Why is this not working? Oh, it is working, sorry. What shows did you watch at the jury house? We watched Too Hot to Handle, which I really enjoyed. We watched The Circle, which was really nice. Brittany was watching Grey's Anatomy. I do not like Grey's Anatomy. I watched a few episodes and I just found myself like crying and feeling devastated every single episode. And I was like, I can't do this to myself. As you guys know, I cry very easy at sad media. Those tears for Evan Hansen were not fake. Those were genuine tears, and that is the way I react to any movie or TV show that is even slightly sad. So Grey's Anatomy is way too sad for me. I can't watch something where I'm crying every episode. I just can't do it. So I did stop watching Grey's Anatomy with Brittany. But then Chada bought a season of Vanderpump Rules, which I had never seen before, and so we were watching a season of Vanderpump Rules, and that was really fun too. We also watched all of season 1 and season 2 of Flavor of Love. Now, I had watched those when they were originally airing way back in the day, but I hadn't seen them in a really long time, so it was super fun to experience Flavor of Love again, especially with the other members of the cast, because some of them had never seen Flavor of Love before, so that was awesome. See. Oh, here's a good one. What was your reaction? I'm so sorry. I should probably just hold my phone. What was your reaction to Chada being a genius? Okay. My reaction is I tried to tell them that Chada was really smart, and that I didn't want to compete against her because I knew she was smarter than me and we needed to get her out of that house, but nobody listened to me because she was very well protected by her amazing alliance, the Cookout. So shout out to them. Yeah. So my reaction to finding out that Chada is a genius is like, I knew it. I tried to tell y'all. But it's really awesome to know that I played the game with so multiple women in STEM. That's like really awesome. I love meeting women in STEM, so it's really cool. Claire and Chada both. Let's see. When you first walked in, who was the person you wanted to align with right away? I felt like I really lucked out when I got chosen to be on the Kings team, because I looked at Christian, I looked at Xavier, I looked at Alyssa, and I thought, I think these are people I would have wanted to work with anyways. And more so than that, especially because I came into the show as like such a nerd, like I was very worried that I would be an early boot on I was worried that I would be an early boot on this season, because I've seen seasons of Big Brother, and a lot of times, like, if you stand out too much as, like, really nerdy or really quirky, you get kicked off, like, pre-jury, because you just don't fit in and you don't make those connections. And that was something I really worried about going into the house, and that I wanted to try to prevent from happening. I really wanted to see if I could get into some sort of alliance or friendship with more of like a jock stereotype and more of like a cool girl stereotype. And so Christian and Alyssa were both people going into the house that I would have wanted to work with, and I just got put on a team with them, so they were forced to align themselves with me anyways. So I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, just right off the bat, I felt really great about that. We love you, SB. Thank you, Heavenly Jason. You were iconic since the first episode. Thank you, Annie Bear. Hashtag quirky queen. I'm cute and quirky. That was definitely the image that was the character that I was set to play on this season. So let's see. Oh, I think some of these are going to run out. I don't know how these questions work. Oh, here we go. Would you ever actually try voice acting? You have a nice voice for it. You got the villain. I know. I came in as the cute, quirky girl, and then somehow I got a villain edit. I have to tell you guys, the last thing I ever expected going on Big Brother was to get a villain edit. I just didn't see it coming. I really didn't. Because I've always considered myself like I thought my problem in the house was going to be that I err on the kinder side, on the nicer side. and I don't necessarily take pleasure in lying to people or manipulating people. I knew I was willing to do it because I wanted to win the game, but it's not something that like delights me. I thought that was going to be more of my problem. So like I never in a million years would have guessed that I would get a villain edit. But you know what? You were best villain. It really is kind of cool. Like I have people in my DMs like villainous queen and best villain ever and like icy, and I've never felt cool. Like I'm not the type of person who like feels cool in my life. You know, like I've never been like cool. And I'm not gonna lie, being called a villain or a villainous queen, that makes me feel so freaking cool. So I'm just gonna embrace it. Yeah, I was the villain this season. Watch out for me. And I'm kind of happy with it at the end of the day, because I think very easily I could have just been very forgettable in this cast. That was a worry that I had coming onto the show, was just that I would, you know, make mistakes and not play a very good game and just be forgettable. But at the very least, I don't think I'm a forgettable member of this cast, considering the amount of drama and speculation I caused and the fact that I got a villain edit. So I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the villain edit. Ice Queen. I just loved you on Big Brother. Thank you, Ashley Wacker. Please recite row, row, row your boat. Oh my goodness. Wait, can I tell y'all about the row, row, row your boat thing? Because, okay, first of all, I made the mistake of not really researching live feeds before going into the house. So I watched a bit of the live feeds for season 22, but otherwise I had never seen live feeds before. And I really went into the house under the assumption that if you are in a room by yourself, not doing anything, I didn't think the live feeds would be on you. And I have learned coming out of the house that that is not true. Sometimes you're in a room all by yourself and the cameras are just on you for no reason. I didn't expect that. So anytime I was in a room by myself, I assumed you guys were not watching me. That was my mistake, because it was so not true. And I think that's why I got caught in a few embarrassing moments, like when I got frustrated and threw the razors in the storage room. But considering the row, row, row your boat, I don't know how it got edited into the show, but that actually happened before that veto competition. So it was before Kingdom of Curl a Lot. And so you thought you were singing that to yourself? Yes, I really thought I was singing this to myself. So Kingdom of Curl a Lot happened, or was about to happen, and I was laying in bed trying to hype myself up for it, because I was getting that was my first veto competition that I ever competed in, and I was getting really, really nervous because I really wanted to win it, and I was trying to calm myself down. And so in my head I was singing row, row, row your boat, just to try and like calm my thoughts, and I was kind of doing it like a mantra, I guess, just trying to calm my thoughts, but I couldn't calm my thoughts down. So as I'm singing row, row, row your boat in my head, I start changing the lyrics to fit what's actually going on. And I don't know what happened, but just out of my head pops the row, row, row your boat song that I sang, and I sang it out loud. And the minute I sang it out loud, I was like, I hope the cameras are on me. And I look, and the camera's pointing right at me, and I look at the other camera and it's pointing right at me, and I'm like, and then I just had to laugh because it was so ridiculous. And I was like, oh gosh, I really hope nobody saw that. Well, you all saw it, so. But I do want to clarify, it was much less like, he, I'm betraying my team, he, and much more like, I can't believe I'm in this situation. I want to win the veto so bad, but if I win it, then I'm literally probably sending Christian home, and that really does stink, because it didn't feel good to lie to my team that entire week and try to keep the backdoor plan under wraps. I did it because I had to do it for my own safety in the game, but it was not giving me pleasure. But I absolutely agree, the way it comes off when you watch it and the way they edited it with the music, it's so scary, it seems so evil, and I'm kind of obsessed with it. The week you took 5K, you had the house shook. I have no regrets taking the 5K. I know that made a lot of people upset, but I really don't care. I wanted the money. I took it. So I was at first upset because when I got out of the house, I did see a lot of people, you know, saying like, oh, she whined and begged for the money. Like, it's just so pathetic. Like, she whined and begged. And I was like, I didn't whine and beg. I said a few words. But then I did see the clip of me asking him not to take the money. And I'm not going to lie. It definitely sounds like I'm whining and begging. But regardless, I got the money. So no regrets. No regrets on my part. Birthday twin. Oh, is your birthday August 9th too? That's awesome. Happy late birthday. Get that cash, SB. Yes, Patrick. You know I'm getting that cash. Oh, Kiraden joined. Kiraden, I've missed you. Oh, I've missed so much about when I was in the house. So I miss I miss keeping up online with my favorite Gyaru and people doing idol music. So I'm glad to be back on Instagram and seeing your posts. And Kiraden, you get better and better and better and better and better at makeup. It really blows my mind. You've gotten so good at it. Was your birthday celebration in the house a surprise? Not really. I knew they were planning something to do for my birthday, so it wasn't a total surprise. I will tell you what was a surprise was the key lime pie, because I had asked for key lime pie and I didn't think that they were going to give it to me. And someone saw the key lime pie in the storage room and hid it from me. I think it was Kyle. I don't remember. But someone hid it from me. So I thought I was getting sheet cake. I didn't know that they actually gave me key lime pie. So that was really exciting and definitely a surprise. Are you the queen of stealing money? You know what? If that's what you want to call me. I would say no, because I didn't take the money in Domino Effect. And I should have. If I had gone for the money in Domino Effect and beaten Big D and taken the money, then I would accept the crown of stealing money, of the queen of stealing money. But I didn't. That is a regret of mine too. I really wish I had gone for that money. If I had known I was such a goner, if I had known about the cookout and that my game was over, I would have gone for the money. And I'm pretty sure I could have beaten Big D. No shade, but pretty sure I could have beaten Big D and gotten that money. We stan you, queen. Thank you. Oh, Alyssa, hello. I love you too. I miss you. I hope you and Christian are having super fun. I might end up moving to Tampa, actually. I've been kind of looking at my job prospects, and I might end up moving to Tampa. We're going to see what happens, but it's definitely a big possibility for me. I started watching Big Brother to see you on there. You look so cute on the show. Thank you. It's so cool that I still would have won, says Big D. No. I think I could have beaten you. You know, we'll never know, because you never know unless you do it. But I think I could have beaten you, because I was really going in Domino Effect. I went so hard. I gave myself an asthma attack. I almost died. SB, thank you for sharing about your dad. My dad passed away 6 months ago from cancer, and he was my best friend. Seeing you living a dream while still grieving inspired me. Oh, thank you so much, Mackenzie. Yeah, that was actually really difficult. I think I did not realize until getting out of the house, until I was in the jury house, quite how difficult it was to be doing the Big Brother experience while still actively grieving such a recent death. And I know I wasn't the only one in the house. Shout out to Xavier, who somehow won this whole thing while doing it. But he, trying to play Big Brother while grieving for a loved one is an insane experience. It is really, really difficult to do. But if talking about it in the house helped even a single person who was watching, if it comforted any of you, then I think it was worth it. And I'm glad that I pushed myself to do it. All right, I think I have a request. Yes, from Big D. Let's go. See if Big D will join the live. You are still a queen. Thank you for being on the season. Your energy is amazing, and I adore your love for cosplay.
Hi! Hi, beautiful.
Hello, Big D. How are you?
would have beat me in domino effect?
I do. I do. I'm sorry. I really think I would have beaten you.
Oh, I know you probably would.
You finally admit it.
Yes, I will admit it. Yes, I couldn't believe someone went for that money. Who went for that money?
Only
16,
you.
29.
I should have gone for the money. What was I thinking?
Oh my God. Oh, can you hit those lights? I'm sorry, they want the lights on. Jess, can you hit that light for me? Sorry. I
How
apologize.
is it being home?
Oh my God, it's so weird being home. Like I've been like trying to adjust. And it
Mhm.
was like weird because when you go to the airport, people are like, Big D, oh my God, there's Derek Gab. And I'm like, I'm in a
Really?
mask with a hat and glasses, and they still know it's me.
You're kind of hard to miss.
I know, my big fat ass. You can't. I'm telling you, oh my God, how are you doing at home? How's it going?
I'm doing pretty well. It's been my brother left yesterday, which I was kind of, or to this morning he left, so I already miss him. And then Shelly had to go back to Kissimmee to work, but my mom's still here, so that's been nice. But yeah, it's weird to not have a job though. I'm like, what do I do every day,
You're doing
just
it right
sitting
now.
around?
You're doing it
Yeah,
right now.
that's what I'm doing.
Yes. Oh wait, can you just give me a Gatorade and no, give me a Pedialyte and a Gatorade. I will say this. Derek's assistant. Sorry, I was telling my assistants, aka my friends. I'm like, can you give me a Gatorade or a Pedialyte? I will say it's a big adjustment, but like I remember saying no one's ever gonna find my Instagram. And they found it. My roommates were telling me you said that on live and they found it in 20 seconds.
Oh my gosh, but it was private, so I do think that keeping my Instagram private was one of the better decisions that I made because we went through a phase with this fandom where they really hated me and
Yeah.
my Instagram would have been a disaster. So I'm glad that I privated it.
Yeah, I would say this. You know what? You're like we talked before, and I'm not gonna go into it too much detail. We're gonna have people that are gonna hate us. And we're gonna have people that love us. It's just a part of a reality show. But that's why I said as long as we all have each other, we have to understand it's just a game. Nothing was ever personal, and I'm very happy. When I watched your episodes back, I am very happy that you were letting Kylan have it, and I live for it.
Oh, I haven't seen the episodes. What was I
I think
saying?
you were on the lines of you were saying something like, I don't think that's a good idea. No, we're not doing like I love that you just did not let him just tell you what to do. And I love that. That was amazing to see. Because I want to make sure I got him the first opportunity I could.
You did. You did. Yeah, you got the opportunity. You were like, bye.
Bye. I was like, everyone's probably like, oh my God, Big D's never gonna get rid of Kylan. He loves him too much. I'm like, nope.
Honest, I didn't think you would. I really didn't think you would. So I was proud of you. I was like, there you go. That is a
Um,
solid game move. Solid
Yeah,
game move.
talk to
Get
him
him out the door.
tomorrow. I haven't got a chance to talk to him because he was so busy. But I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow. Catch up with him. See what's
Mm-hmm.
going on. But I just
Sweet.
wanted to check up on you and just say hello. I'm not gonna answer the
Yes.
line. You look like you guys you're having a good time. I love that you're answering questions. I also want to say, me when you talked about your dad on the show, I really did relate with you because, like I said, when I lost my father, I know what it felt like.
Mhm.
And I think fans love that, that you were able to show that side of you, and especially talking about like you're coming out and everything. That's important. People love that. I think you have a great personality, and I do expect us to go out. We said we were going to go to the
Yes.
gay bar together.
Yes.
We still have a
We
double
have
date
to.
planned. Me, you,
Hmm.
Shelly, and Kylan. So we will do that.
My
So,
mom is telling me to tell you that you were one of her favorites.
hey, Mom, I love you. Like I said, if your daughter was not, she wasn't in the cookout, but I would have worked with her if I didn't have the cookout. So I do apologize, Mom. I feel like
She's
I'm gonna have to make
laughing.
shirts with you because every time I talk to her, I was like that. Damn Sarah Beth. I'm gonna make damn Sarah Beth shirts
Yes, I want one too.
now. All right, I'm gonna let you go back. I know they want
All
to talk
right.
to you because I know your fans are like, get Big D out of here. We do not like him.
No. We love Big D in this house.
Okay, well, I love you and I'll talk to you later, okay? Text me
All
or
right.
call me anytime you need anything, okay?
Absolutely.
All
Love you.
right. And
Bye.
then like work wise. we'll talk because there's a lot of things that you can do now. Okay.
Heck yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right, baby.
All right. Bye. Yes, we love Big D here. Let's see. I got some more questions. Hannah's Ponytail says, "You're such a bicon. I love you." Thank you. You know, that was something that I was excited to go on the show, and I was excited that you guys did eventually get to see a picture of Shelly because I think a lot of times people don't expect someone who is more feminine like me, because I'm super girly, I dress super girly, to be bi or to be gay, and especially not in the sense that my girlfriend Shelly is also very feminine, very girly, and presents that way. And so when people see us together, a lot of times they don't think that we are a couple, but we are a couple. And I definitely wanted to show that on TV so that maybe other people who are like me and are like very girly and into very girly girls can just have some representation on TV. I'm crying, Sarah Beth. Yes. Tiffany not believing in Shelly was so funny. Yeah, it seems like it caused a lot of drama. A lot of drama. Have you ever watched The Promised Neverland? You should cosplay from that anime. I have not, but Shelly has watched it, and I think she read the manga too and really likes it. I never did. To be honest, it doesn't look quite up my alley. It looks a little angsty for me, but I have heard that it is very good, so maybe I should give it a shot. Shelly was the 17th house guest. She was brought up so much. You know, she put that in her Twitter handle. I almost died laughing. It was so funny. I'm so happy we had you and Claire represent us bis this season. Yes, it was so awesome to have another bi female in the house. It made me so freaking excited. Do you like Future Diary? Yes. So it's been a long time since I've watched Future Diary or Mirai Nikki, but I was really into it when I was a long time ago, when it was more popular and I was very young. I was super, super into it. And the opening to that show is a bop. Let's see. Did you know about Christina being removed and Claire being a replacement? No, I had no idea about that. No idea. How do you feel about your BB comics, Sarah Breath? Okay, I was so excited that they did my BB comic the way it did. Okay, first of all, my outfit, super cool. Second of all, the face really looks like me. It really looks like me. And the Sarah Breath with like the icy breath, I thought that was so funny. I don't know if they meant it to be like a reference to how I thought Derek X called me cold AF, but that's what it feels like it was. And then I had said multiple times in the house that I really wanted my comic to be like a stupid play on my name. Like I had mentioned, like my favorite BB comic of all time is when they made Snotty for Scotty in 20. I thought that was so funny, and I wanted something like that. And I think at some point in the house I even said, I hope it's something stupid like Sarah Breath. And then they really did do Sarah Breath and gave me like these icy breath powers. So I could not be happier with my BB comic. Sarah Beth Icy Queen, yes. Cosplay your comic. You know, I think for Halloween this year, I am going to make my BB comic costume because one, it looks super easy to make. Like I could make that no issue. And I think it would just be really fun. So I do think I'm gonna do it. Cold AF but chill AF. Do you feel a certain way about Alyssa and Xavier voting to keep Christian over you week 5? No. They told me in the game that they were going to do that. As long as I stayed, I really didn't care if they threw him some sympathy votes. So that never really had any sort of negative impact on my impression of them at all. Hi, Ice Queen. I loved you so much on this season and so proud of your journey. Thank you heavily, Jason. I love that you represented the community, and I was amazed at the power plays. Love you. I love you too. You're so gorgeous, girl. Thank you. Have you seen Erased? It's my favorite anime. Wallflower Studios. I love Erased. Erased is 12 episodes of absolute perfection. I think people who don't even watch anime regularly could watch Erased and absolutely be enthralled and impressed by it. It is a solid story. It is beautifully told, beautifully animated. The soundtrack is solid. I love Erased. It's so great. If any of you like don't watch anime, but you've like watched and like a Miyazaki film, maybe, I think you could like Erased. I think you could like it. It's just a solid like sci-fi murder mystery. It's so good. Everyone should watch it. I love it. Um, are you thinking of attending any cons coming up? Allie, so have I am conflicted because I have for years now always gone to Anime Week in Atlanta, which is over Halloween weekend, obviously in Atlanta. But a lot of the house guests are talking about meeting up for Halloween in Tampa, which is really close to me. And it almost seems like such a shame if everyone's going to come and be in my state when it would literally be so easy to meet up with them all. I kind of want to do that. I'm so conflicted. Like, I kind of want to hang out with all of my Big Brother people for Halloween, but I also don't necessarily want to cancel my Anime Week in Atlanta plans. Like, I've already paid for the hotel and everything. Like, I was going to Anime Week in Atlanta. But at the same time, if I do go to AWA, I do kind of want to cosplay and enjoy my time there. And I just have a lot to do this month as far as just catching up with my life since being in the house, applying for jobs, figuring out what I'm going to do with my living situation and all of that. So I think it would be easier for me to not plan the trip to AWA, but it's so hard because I have so many friends that I only see at anime conventions. And so if I don't go to Anime Week in Atlanta, it's just going to be so long before I see them again. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm very I'm very conflicted. Just bring them all to AWA. We'll host karaoke. If I could do that, that would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Did you have to quit your job to go on Big Brother? Yes, I had to quit my job. I am going to look at going back to the job. I don't know exactly if they'll take me. I've heard rumors that they probably would take me back because the position isn't filled yet. But also, the same job has openings in Tampa that I think I'm going to apply for as well. So I might end up going to the same job but working in Tampa instead of Fort Myers. I don't know. Maybe they won't even take me back. Maybe they'll watch me on Big Brother and be like, we don't want this crazy girl working here. I don't know. But hopefully they would take me back. That's a really big possibility for me right now, is that I might just go back to forensics if at all possible with FDLE where I was working before. I'm pretty sure I'm going to contact them and resubmit my application and see if they'll take me back. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Please, how are you so gorgeous? Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Tutor me in organic chem. Okay, honestly, I did do well. I have to admit, I did get an A in organic chemistry, but it has been so long since I took organic chemistry, and I actually don't use that much organic chemistry in forensic chemistry. I mostly just do analytical chemistry. So if you need a tutor for analytical chemistry, I've got you. Organic chemistry, you might want to pick someone else. It's been a while. I'd have to refresh my brain. Have you seen The Promised Neverland? I already talked about that. Have you ever watched Danganronpa? If so, then who is your favorite character in it? Okay, so I have not watched Danganronpa. I know it's an anime now, but I did play the video games. I played the first 2 video games a really, really long time ago now. As far as favorite characters, I really liked Junko. I actually cosplayed Junko, and I really liked Komaida. You would have slayed the NCIS. Okay. The, the CSI freaking HOH comp that they did. I'm so bitter. I should have still been in the house. Like, I was like, what? This is my job. I do think I could have slayed that. I do think I could have. I mean, you never know under pressure how I would have performed, but I'm pretty sure I would have won that comp. I also feel pretty good about the HOH for the first double. I think I could have won that one too, but you never know because I didn't get to play it. Whatever a Junko is, I agree. Thoughts on Helen was pushed. I wasn't in the fandom. I wasn't actively acting Big Brother during Helen's season. I have obviously watched that season back. I do know the theory of Helen was pushed. I have seen the videos. I have reviewed the tapes. I have consulted with people who I would consider experts, aka my brother, who is a super fan of Big Brother, and some other super fans that I know. And it seems like the general consensus is that Helen was pushed. So I'm going to say, I think she was pushed. Helen was definitely pushed. um, Rap is talking about is talking about the season. You should come watch. I don't know what Rap is. RHAP. Yeah, I see that talked about a lot, and I actually have no idea what that. I don't know who that is or what that is. Rob has a Oh, that's Rob has a podcast. Okay, I do know what that is because I've definitely heard of that. Oh, okay. I haven't seen anything that he has ever done. So if it's good, I can check it out. Yeah, let me know if I should check his stuff out. I've never watched any of his stuff. Can you say happy birthday to Theo? Happy birthday, Theo! Happy birthday! Don't laugh at me for not knowing things. Yeah, haha, mom coming through. Yeah, I think my mom might be a bigger super fan than I ever was now because she knows more about what's going on in the Big Brother fandom than I do. Would you go on the challenge? No, I've never seen the challenge, but from what I heard about it in the house, sounds like it's pretty intense. And like you would have to be like more athletic than I am. So I don't think I would go on the challenge. I love your voice. Thank you. Did you get to keep anything from the jury house? No, not really. They didn't really give us anything from the jury house. Who did you spend the most time with in jury? Let me think. We really spent a lot of time together, but I would say if I had to pick someone, maybe Brittany, because me and Brittany would play badminton together. And also there was a week where it was just me, Brittany, and DX. And so obviously I spent a lot of time with Brittany that week. But for the most part, we all hung out together in a group, like playing games or watching TV shows. How did you become such a good painter? I don't know. I honestly hadn't painted in years until I got to the jury house. Now, I've always loved art. I've always drawn actively throughout my whole life, but I've really never been a painter. But I guess I do digital art and I've always been drawing stuff and I've painted here or there. So I kind of have an eye for it, I guess. So the paintings turned out way better than I thought that they would when I originally started painting. I was pretty happy with them, and it was really fun to do. It was, there wasn't a whole lot to do in the jury house, and I spent a whole lot of time there. So it was nice to have something to occupy my days. What's your opinion on Yoshino Idolmaster? Also, I love you and I loved watching you and having common interests with you. Oh my goodness, an Idolmaster fan. Okay, I so wish that I was home right now because I would show you my Ritsuko Akizuki shrine. Okay, so as far as Idolmaster goes, I'm definitely into original Idolmaster and I'm definitely into Million Live, but I'm mostly into original Idolmaster. I don't actually know that much about the Cinderella girls. I never super got into them, but my favorite character from Idolmaster and probably my favorite character from anything across the board entirely. My mom is laughing at me. Oh, okay, good. I can hear you. Is Ritsuko Akizuki from Original Idolmaster. I'm obsessed with her. She's perfect. She's everything. I have a shrine to her at home. I'm so excited that there were Idolmaster fans watching me That makes me so excited. I don't know if you noticed, but in the house, I wore my hair up like a lot like this. And I started wearing my hair like that because of Ritsuko Akizuki, because that's how she wears her hair. And when I also do the double braids down, that's a direct reference to Ritsuko Akizuki. Oh, if you saw that I had like the little brown oval glasses that I would wear sometimes during comp, like I bought those glasses because I thought they looked like Ritsuko's glasses. I'm just like trying to turn myself into Ritsuko. So yeah, huge Idolmaster fan. I'm beyond thrilled that there were Idolmaster fans watching the show. Idolmaster is the best. Tell your mom Hannah's ponytails say hi, please. Did you hear that, Mom? She says hi. Do you listen to K-pop? I don't listen to a whole lot of K-pop. I've listened to Twice a little bit. I do really, really like Dreamcatcher. And back in the day when they were making music, I loved FX. But those are the only groups that I've ever like really gotten into. I mostly listen to J-pop and then American music, but I do like some K-pop for sure. Have you ever watched Soul Eater? Yo, Soul Eater is so good. The Soul Eater opening is so solid. It's so beautiful. I could watch it on repeat over and over for hours. What do you think about Hannah calling you Sketch B? You know what? I was lying about my occupation. That was a little sketchy of me, so I'll own it. I'll own Sketch B. Twice is amazing. Oh, we've got some Twice fans in the chat. That's awesome. You're so pretty. Thank you, Kissland Faith. Kissland Faith. No Blackpink, no Luna. No, I've never really gotten into those. I've really never gotten into those. Do you have any anime outfits? Yes, I've been cosplaying for years and years and years. If you want to look at my cosplay, you can just look Greedy Kalina Cos. That's my cosplay account. And if you go there, you can see all the nerdy costumes that I've been doing over the years. Can you say my username? 630. 630, hello. Have you seen Fairy Tail? I've actually never seen Fairy Tail. So, Sketch B because you backdoored Baby D. I'll take it. I'll own it. I'll own it. All right. Jujutsu Kaisen. I had just started watching it before I went into the house. So I only got to like episode 3. So I am behind on that. But I do want to keep watching it because I do think I would like it. I'm also dying because I was watching Tokyo Revengers before I went into the house. And I haven't caught up yet. But it left up on such a, please don't spoil for me. If you've watched Tokyo Revengers, I will cry. But it left off on such a spoiler for me, like I just need to know what happened to Draken. And I'm like, if he's dead, I'm going to be so upset. And that's where it left off before I went into the house. So I don't know if he survives or not. I don't know if he's able to save him or not. Anyways, Tokyo Revengers was extremely good. I was living for every second of that anime. And I am dying to go back and finish the season since I've been in the house. Because I was thinking about it, like, I thought about it so much in the house. I would just lay in my bed and I'd be like, I want to watch Tokyo Revengers. What's going on in Tokyo Revengers? So, what's your least favorite anime? I would say Samurai Flamenco. I know people like Samurai Flamenco, but it really just took a weird turn for me that I wasn't expecting. I found it very unpleasant and I didn't like it and I could hardly even finish it. So, in fact, I don't think I finished it. I think I skipped like 6 episodes and went straight to the end. Mercy's Veto. Hello. I was just about to ask you if you read Tokyo Revengers. I just started it. I love you too. Yeah, I want to go back and read it. It was so good. Next season comes out in like a year. There's no way I'm waiting for another season. I am going to finish the season and then I'll do what I always do, which is immediately read all of the manga because that is my style. I am way too impatient for that. That's what I do that with everything. I did that with Demon Slayer for sure. I didn't even finish season 1. I watched, because I caught up while it was airing. So I watched like some of Demon Slayer and was like, I'm not waiting for episodes. And I just read the whole manga because it was so good. I'm too impatient to wait for seasons to come out. I need to know what happens. That also was me with Golden Kamui. That was something I just caught up on the Golden Kamui manga before I came into the house, and it's so good. I can't wait to read the updates. Same thing with World Trigger. I just caught up with the World Trigger manga before I went into the house, so I'm really excited to read updates from World Trigger. Hopefully 3 whole chapters have been released since I've been in the house. I don't know because that author doesn't sometimes skips months, so maybe not, but I'm really hoping. Um, on chapter 120, whoa, it must be really good. Please tell us if you're a barb. I actually don't know what that means. Into the Abyss, I'm not going to watch it or read it. I don't think that's something I would be into. The BB23 cast should dress up as their comics for Halloween. I think I definitely will be doing that. Are you going to do cameo? I don't know. I don't know if I'll do cameo. I see that my fellow castmates are doing cameo. I do suppose that if I was ever going to do a cameo and make any money off of it, doing it right away while Big Brother has just ended and the fandom is at its height would probably be the best idea for me. Like if I'm gonna do it, I should probably do it right now. But I'm kind of dragging my feet on it. I'm not sure if I want to do it or not. Um, let's see. How does it feel to being tied to such a historic season, one a lot of people probably consider the best ever? I am so happy for that. You know, I really worried because the past few seasons, I feel like the Big Brother fans didn't really like them. Um, and I was worried that I would go on and like, because I didn't want to be on a season of Big Brother that people thought was a bad season of Big Brother. So I'm really happy that I ended up being on a season that, as far as I can tell, has been really well received. And especially to be on a historic season with the first Black winner feels really good. I'm really happy and proud that I get to be a part of that. Best cast ever. I'm glad so many people think we were. I like the cast a lot personally. Maybe I'm biased because I was actually living in the house with them, but I think they're pretty darn awesome. So, um, have you watched One Piece or Monster? I have not watched either of those. One Piece is too long. It's too long. I'll never catch up. So now I just can't. It's too long. Um, I think you'll slay on the circle. Okay, not gonna lie, I would like to play the circle. I watched the circle for the first time while I was in the jury house with the other house guests, and it really does look fun. Now, I have to meter this thought because I also thought, you know what, I would be so good on Big Brother. I would win Big Brother. I should go on Big Brother. And then I did go on Big Brother, and guess what? I did not win Big Brother. So now I am also feeling like, whoa, I could win the circle. I could definitely win the circle. But you know what? Maybe I wouldn't win the circle after all. But I do think it would be really fun. I really like the show. I need to go back and watch the earlier seasons, like because I only watched the newest season in the house. Would you ever do Survivor? No, I wouldn't do Survivor. I don't think I'm athletically capable of doing Survivor. Plus, like, I mean, you guys saw me in the house. Like, I'm so prissy. Like, I want my makeup done. I want my hair done. I want a shower available. Like, I need my hair styling tools. Yeah, no, I'm way too prissy to survive Survivor. Have you ever watched Do Da Da Da? Yes, I have watched Do Da Da Da. It's been a really long time, but I have watched it. Are you a Swiftie or a Barb? I really don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I'm old. I'm 28. Please remember. Um, you won the most physical comp. No, the most physical comp I would say that I played in was the wall, and I did not win the wall. I do think I could have held onto the wall for quite a bit longer because I threw the wall, ironically, because I felt really safe. Didn't think I was going to go on the block that week. So I was like, I don't need to win this. So I did throw the wall comp. But I think I could have hung on for quite a bit longer, but I never would have won the wall comp. I definitely was not hanging on as long as Alyssa or DX or Xavier were. So that was the most physical comp I think that I did. Are you a Taylor Swift fan? I've definitely listened to some of her music. I don't have a problem with it. I like a few of her songs. Da, da, da. Chloe devoured the circle. You threw the wall. I know, I threw the wall. What was I thinking, you guys? Why did I throw the wall? And then I ended up on the block. I was like, I'm never throwing a competition again. That was so stupid. Um, you seem like a Sailor Moon girl. Give me your favorite Sailor Scout. Oop, Sass 2109. You got it right. I do love Sailor Moon. I grew up on Sailor Moon. And my favorite Sailor Scout is definitely Sailor Jupiter. And I actually cosplayed Sailor Jupiter. If you look at my cosplay account, you can see it. But yeah, I cosplayed Sailor Jupiter not even that long ago. It was super fun. Uh, are you a visual novel fan or player? I'm curious. I love them. I've only played a few. I played Hatoful Boyfriend recently. I streamed it, and that was really fun. I liked playing Hatoful Boyfriend. Sailor Jupiter is the queen. Yes, Sailor Jupiter. All Sailor Jupiter fans unite. We need a BB23 meet and greet. You know, I bet that could happen at some point because there are definitely going to be events that a lot of us are going to be at. I know a lot of people are already thinking about going to Hearts of Reality, which is sometime in December in Florida. I guess they're having a charity event. So I guarantee you a meet and greet will probably be happening at bars or events and stuff when we all get together. I would be surprised if we don't organize that at some point. Ah, Kixie, my love, my treasure, how are you? Thank you for coming. I'm so glad you made it. Yay! Hi, Mandinators. I don't know who Mandy Moyer is. I'm sorry, but hello, Mandinators. Is that a Yu Yu Hakusho tee? Haha. You guys want to see it? Yes. This is my Yu Yu Hakusho t-shirt. Shelly has a matching one. When we went to Fanime, which is an anime convention in San Jose, California, me and Shelly bought these t-shirts and we wore them together on our flight. We looked really cute. Not gonna lie, we looked really cute in our matching Yu Yu Hakusho t-shirts. Favorite character from Yu Yu Hakusho is Hiei. Hiei, superior. Yeah, but I love this anime. It's so good. You look so good. Thank you. Legend. That's so cute. Thank you. We love our anime queen, and I love you. Um, have you seen the edits people have made of you? They're so cool. Yes, I am so shocked by these edits, you guys. People keep sending them to me and tagging me in them, and I just continue to be amazed and flattered and floored by how talented you guys are. And they look like they take a really long time. And then the editing is always so perfect with the music and the beat and then the lyrics, and some people do like the text animation on top of all of that. They're so impressive. They're so beautiful. I love them. And I literally will watch them over and over. There's been a few they've been so good. I've just like watched them like 10 or 12 times. Like they give me so much life. SB, you're so pretty. Thank you, Annie Bears. Thank you, Tag XNs. Do you know your MBTI type? I think I do. I NTJ. But between introvert and extrovert, I'm like 50-50, like literally right on the line. So like sometimes when I take the test, I get E and sometimes I get I, but I'm an INTJ or an ENTJ. INTJ, oh my gosh. You know what though? I say that I'm so surprised that I got edited as the villain this season and I got a villain edit. But I gotta say, I did notice a long time ago when people would do like those types for characters from TV shows, like almost always, like the villain of the TV show is INTJ. And I remember thinking that a long time ago, like, why am I the same type as all of these villains from all of these TV shows? And then I go on a TV show and I get the villain edit. So really, should I have been surprised or should I have known? I should have known. Keep shining, SB, the sweetest woman I've ever seen. Thank you so much, Joshi. I appreciate that. You're a villainous queen. Okay, Slytherin. It's true. Yep, the signs were there. The signs were there because I am also Slytherin. So, um, I love you, Queen. Thank you. I was here for Reputation era SB. Sarah, you're amazing. I wish you won BB. But anyway, Sarah for All Stars whenever another one happens. You never know. You never know what could happen. Can you please shout out? Yeah, shout out to Sarah Beth Stars chat. You guys are super sweet. I was really thrilled to see that there was like a whole chat just full of people who, for whatever reason, were rooting for me in this game. I really appreciate it. My fellow Slytherin by cosplaying queen, I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Queer Glimmer. I appreciate you too. Have you seen the Mean Girls Big Brother video? Yes, I'm obsessed with it. I don't like the time and effort that went into that totally paid off. It is perfection. It is it's hilarious, and I have watched it multiple times. uh Do you play Animal Crossing? I have never played Animal Crossing, but my girlfriend Shelly really likes Animal Crossing and was playing it a lot, especially the new one. But I've never played it. I have played Genshin Impact. I used to stream it, so I have played Genshin Impact. Sailor Moona, the gays do love you. You know I love my gays. What was your favorite moment in the house? I don't know. There were so many good moments in the house. It's really hard to just pick one. It's definitely hard. There were so many really funny things too. I'm going to go through and see if I can find some good questions. Okay. Did the DR prompt you to say wipe your butts with the BB bucks, or was that an SB original? I do have to admit that came from my very own brain. I was actually really bad about never saying anything that the DR wanted me to. I would get prompted lines quite often, and I just refused to say them. So I would say like 95% of the stuff that was said in my DRs was from my brain. Very little of it was prompted to me just because, I don't know, they always wanted me to say cheesy stuff or say stuff that didn't feel like authentic to what I was feeling in the game. So yeah, like most of my DRs actually came from my brain. And yes, that was an SP original. Iconic behavior. Thank you. What was your favorite comp to play? My favorite comp to play was Domino Effect. Domino Effect was so much fun. I thought that the way they set it up was genius. Having to choose between going for the veto or going for money, and then if you go for the veto, you have to take punishments. I thought that was really smart game design. The game itself, stacking up the dominoes, was really, really fun, and it was so challenging, and I'm proud of myself and how I did in it. Even though I didn't win, I did get the second best time, and I hustled. Like, I really did almost die playing dominoes. I almost died. I had the worst asthma attack in the Big Brother house right after that comp. The only reason I didn't die is because I knew where Claire's, actually the whole story is funny. So while we were waiting to play that comp, they had us isolated in different rooms, and they told us that we couldn't leave those rooms, but that they could hear us if something was a problem. So I go back to my room and I'm isolated after playing the comp, and it's not where my inhaler is stored. My inhaler was stored in the boat room, but I was in the coral room. Then I start having like full on asthma attack, and I'm coughing and wheezing, and I cannot pull it together, and I know I need my inhaler, and I'm like calling out. I'm like, can I please leave the room? I need to get my inhaler. And I'm getting completely ghosted. Production not listening to me at all, not answering me, not giving me permission to leave the room. I'm like literally like, please, the room, please. They're not answering me. So then all of a sudden I remembered that Frenchie had had an asthma attack in the coral room like week 2. And I just happened to be in there when Claire got her inhaler and gave it to him. So I knew where Claire kept her inhaler. So I was able to dig through her stuff and find her inhaler and use it. And her inhaler saved my life that day. But I almost died playing Domino Effect. But it was my favorite comp by far. Cutting this out completely. Yeah, I'm sure they didn't show that at all. Helps guys stop talking about production. Yeah. Now, I probably still shouldn't talk about production, but so I will refrain. I didn't think about that. I won't say anything else, but I thought that was a funny story. The high school one was so fun, was so good. I did like high school hijinks, and I know I didn't win, but I'm still proud of how I played in high school hijinks. I really put my all into that. And I do think I had a pretty good time in comparison to how other people tend to do, like on other seasons. I mean, people time out in that comp. Usually people do not do very short times in that comp. So I was aiming for something under 6 minutes. I did that. And so I am proud of my time. I just wish it had, I just wish it would have been enough to win the veto, because how iconic would it have been? Twitter would have lost their minds if I had won the veto that week. And that would have been pretty darn cool. Do you think you'd win the Hunger Games? No way! I'm such a baby. I would not win the Hunger Games. I would definitely not win. What's your sun sign? My sun sign is Leo. I'm a Leo. Um, you should watch Squid Game on Netflix. Everyone keeps talking to me about Squid Game. I think I will watch it because people are begging me to watch it, and maybe I'll like live tweet it on Twitter, my reactions as I watch it. But I haven't seen it yet. I don't even really know what it's about, but people have been telling me over and over again that I need to watch Squid Game, so I will do it at some point. Yes, I know my moon and rising sign. So my moon sign is Taurus and my rising is also Leo. So I'm Leo, Taurus, Leo. Let me look at these questions. Oh my gosh, y'all are asking me so many questions about Kyland. I cannot. I cannot with you. Oh, here we go. Um, oh, I couldn't share. Okay, it wouldn't let me share the question, but somebody asked who I thought in the house was going to be AFP. And I thought it was going to be Derek X when I was in the house. I just thought Derek X. When I got into the jury house, and especially when I learned that Tiffany was the member of the cookout that came up with the duos idea and the master plan, then I was like, okay, it's either going to be DX or Tiffany. And sure enough, they were the top two contenders. So I was right. Now that it's over, do you respect your game? Um, so I think maybe I'll feel differently over time. If I was pressed for an answer right now, I would say personally, I feel that I played a very mediocre game. I do think that I had a lot of the skills to play a good game, but I think I wasn't quite confident enough in myself to be able to execute the skills that to apply the skills that I have, if that makes sense. I do think I let the stress and the isolation get to me in the game, and that really held me back. So I would say personally, I think my game was mediocre, but I did the best that I could. Do you know who the top third AFP was? I heard a rumor that it was Chada, but I don't know for sure. Thank you for all this fun this summer. No, thank you for watching. I'm really glad so many people watched and enjoyed this season. It makes me super excited. Would you play again if asked back? I don't think at this moment that I would. I have realized coming out of the house that being on the show did cause a lot of stress and inconveniences to the people that I care about most. And I have been asked by the people who love me to not do something like this again. And so until that changes, I would not go back on the show because it's not worth causing that kind of emotional distress on the people that I care about. You know, I got my one chance to do it. It was a dream of mine. Did it go exactly how I wanted it to? Of course it didn't. I wanted to win, but you know, I am very fortunate to have even gotten that one shot. So I'm going to be really grateful for that. And unless my family changes their tune on how they feel about me going on Big Brother, I probably won't return. When was Big Brother actually filmed? Oh, it was filmed live. It was all live. How do you not know that? It was live. Like this was happening like as y'all were watching it on the TV. It was all happening. Um, Will you watch Big Brother and stream live feeds next year? You know, I think I probably will. I probably will. My brother is still a super fan. My sister-in-law Crystal is a super fan. I can't, and now I have so many castmates, like all my fellow house guests. Like so many of them were super fans. So I can't imagine that I won't be watching next season and talking to them about it and watching the live feeds. Um, I think I definitely will. And I'll probably be watching Celebrity Big Brother too. I've never seen a season of Celebrity Big Brother yet, but I've heard they're super fun. So I definitely plan to tune in for this new season of Celebrity. Get your brother on. No, I don't think my brother will go on the show. Um, Save this live. I don't know how to save the live. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I don't understand technology. I am old. I am so old. What does your mom think about you telling America to wipe their butts with the BB bucks? um, uh, I think she thought it was funny. I think she thought it was funny. I think she definitely recognized that, you know, it was a little sassy of me to say. But, you know, she raised me, so she knows I can be a little sassy. So I don't think she was surprised. Oh, is Kylan in the chat? I didn't even see. I didn't see him. Hi, Kylan, if you're here. What's up? That was iconic. I'm glad people think it was iconic. My mom said that the reception of the BB Bucks thing was like really 50-50. She said that people either were just loved it and thought it was hilarious or were very offended that I was not begging for their BB Bucks, and that there really wasn't a lot of in between, which I think is pretty funny. But, you know, I'm owning it. I don't regret saying it. Funniest thing to air on the show. SB, we're the same age. We aren't so old yet. Okay, you're not old. I'm old. See, we may be the same age, but I've got old spirit. I've got an old soul. I'm old. um, your mom sounds like you. Really? Do we sound alike? I like that. Why did you target DX? I loved him. I knew America loved him. I targeted him anyways. You know, obviously, I know now out of the house that um, you know, the perspective I had at the time wasn't completely right, but I didn't know about the cookout, and I did know that Derek X was working with other people because, you know, he knew who was trying to flip the vote on me if I had gone up against Big D in week 5. And he would not tell me who that was. He flat out told me, you know, I asked them if I could tell you, and they don't want me to tell you, and I'm going to be loyal to them. And that meant to me that Derek X was working with other people, and he was more loyal to those people than he was to me. He was also obviously a comp threat. He was very loved within the house. I knew he was going to continue to get a lot of BB bucks, and so he just seemed like a threat to me. I really worried that if he was still in the house, that if I went on the block next to Kyle, that then he would want to keep Kyle over me because that would have made more sense for his personal game because he could have acted. I think he thought Kyle would have been a shield for him as well. So I didn't want to go on the block next to Kyle with DX in the house because I thought DX would be a number against me, and not just a number against me, but he would be someone who could be influential on other people. Now, little did I know the person I really needed to be worrying about in that situation was Tiffany, but I didn't know that. And I think that really is props to Tiffany's game because people were just so blindly loyal to Tiffany that really nobody was letting me know that she was saying all of the things that she was saying about me and that she was targeting me. Even DX, when he knew that it would save him from going on the block, he still chose to be loyal to Tiffany, and he got himself sent home for that. So that's just props to Tiffany's game to even have people be so loyal to her. But yeah, those are the main reasons that I ended up targeting DX. Your decision to target DX was 100% justified. You had no way of knowing about the cookout, so it was a great move from your point of view, and it made sense. Thank you very much. I do know that it upset a lot of people who were big DX fans. And I know for a lot of people it was painful to watch because they thought, no, DX is the only person in this house who might not go after you. But I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. So I did my best. Her pronouns are she, her. Her adjectives are sweet and sassy. I love that. Didn't you get mad at production because you closed your eyes? I did. I got so, okay, here's the thing. This is why I was so frustrated, because I was so doggone tired. I was exhausted and I wanted to sleep. I wanted to be asleep, but I could not fall asleep. And I had been laying on the couch with my eyes closed, trying to fall asleep and not falling asleep for, it had to have been like well over an hour. And then they kept yelling at me to stop sleeping, stop napping or whatever. And I think it really just frustrated me because like I genuinely wasn't napping. I was trying, but I wasn't napping. And so the fact that I was getting in trouble for what I couldn't even do, I snapped and I did yell at production. It did happen more than once, but I did see the one clip that went around of me yelling at production. But, you know, I did not get a lot of sleep in that house and it was very frustrating, and I'm not good at taking naps anyway. So when I would try to nap, I mostly just laid there with my eyes closed, pretending like I was asleep. And then when I'd get yelled at, it was kind of like, you know what? I wish I was napping, production. I wish I was napping. I wish I was, but I wasn't really because it was hard to fall asleep. Do you like Chima? So I'm assuming you're talking about the Chima who got sent out of the house for throwing the microphone into the pool. I do think that Chima got cheated. I don't support her destroying equipment. Obviously, she never should have done that. She knew the rules going into the house that she wasn't allowed to do that. But I do think that production screwed her. And if something like that would have happened to me, I cannot guarantee that I would not have freaked out and thrown my mic in the pool. I honestly can't. Like, if the coup d'etat had been thrown at me, my HOH week, I can't promise you that I wouldn't have thrown my mic in the pool. So I sympathize with her. Yeah, Queen. I love when you guys call me Queen. You guys are so sweet. Where does Greedy Kalina come from? Okay, this is actually a funny story. So, hold on, I'm gonna drink some water. Because when I was really little, my mom used to watch soap operas, and she was watching, I think, The Young and the Restless. And there's a character on there who I thought her name was Kalina, but I actually just misheard it. Her name was Colleen, but I misheard it and thought it was Kalina. And I just loved the name Kalina. I was obsessed with it. I wanted my name to be Kalina. So since elementary school, I would call myself Kalina. Like, my friends would call myself Kalina. Like, my very first email was like Kalina Candy Princess at AOL or something like that. Like, I just like, Kalina was like the name that I wanted if I wasn't Sarah Beth. And then when I got older and I started doing performance stuff, I wanted to use it since it was like special and the name had been like a part of my life since I was very little, I wanted to use it as my stage name. So my stage name when I was performing at anime conventions and things like that was Kalina. And then my tag is like Greedy Kalina, because I'm just a greedy person. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm just like a little bit greedy, so it just fits. So that's why my username is Greedy Kalina. Least favorite comp. My least favorite comp is definitely Kingdom of Curl-A-Lot. Not gonna lie. I think it was rigged. I'm not gonna go on and on about it, but that competition was rigged, and I have a lot of bitter feelings about it. But you know what? I got 5K out of it, so maybe I shouldn't complain. Maybe I shouldn't complain. I like you better now. The show portrayed you much differently. I haven't seen the show yet, so I don't know how it portrayed me, but I'm glad that you like me now. That does make me happy. Have you watched Given? I have not watched Given. I have not watched it. So let's see if I can find another question from you guys. What was the weirdest thing that you requested in the diary room? I didn't request things very often. I think the weirdest thing maybe that I requested was the veggie bouillon because Ozza was really complaining about how our veggie bouillon got thrown away by Big D, threw it away, and we needed some. And then people kept forgetting to request it. So then one day I did go in and I just happened to remember, and I was like, oh yeah, we need that. And I don't think we ever got it, or maybe we did at some point. But I feel like there was like multiple weeks where we had requested it and not gotten it. Please stream Ace Attorney. You know what? That's a really good idea. I might do that. I might stream Ace Attorney. That would be super fun. You have to go. Well, thanks for coming in while you could. I appreciate it. You should become a streamer. A streamer? Yeah, I used to stream before I went into the house. I did like it, so maybe I will. Maybe I will stream. We'll see. Favorite thing in your HOH basket? Okay, like obviously other than the pictures and the letter, which were my favorite things. My favorite thing in the HOH basket was the milk makeup eye patches that I got. Tiffany also got them in her first HOH basket, but they were like these little eye patches that went over here, and they had like this weird like eyeball symbol on them, and I think they said like cool down. They felt so good on my eyes, and I hadn't been sleeping very much, and I'd been crying a whole ton. So those like patches like really saved my eye bags. Like they really saved my life there. They came in clutch. So that was my favorite thing for my HOH basket. Let's see. Let's do another question. I might stop the stream sometime soon. I'm really tired. I'm so tired. Okay, here we go. Is there anyone you won't keep in contact with from the season? I don't think there is anyone. I've already followed everybody on the social media pages. I don't think I missed anyone. If I did, it was completely an accident. There's nobody that I plan on not keeping up with. I really did enjoy everybody's company on this cast, and I want to stay friends with everybody. So I don't have any plans on not talking to. It's actually too late. I think I have talked to everybody except for Travis. I think Travis is the only person I haven't talked to from the cast post the show. So, and I will talk to Travis. I don't know why I haven't yet. I'll shoot him a message. I'll do that after the live. Yeah, I definitely want to stay friends with everybody from the cast. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to answer another question. Kylan says, answer a Kylan question before I leave. Okay, maybe I will. Let's see. Do you think Kylan attributed to many house guests not trusting you? Yes, I definitely think that happened. I do think that it was unfortunate for me because obviously I didn't know that Kylan and Tiffany had formed a final two pretty early on in the game. And obviously I didn't know about the cookout. So that was kind of their final two within the cookout, which was both of theirs like true alliance that they were going to stick with the whole time. And so obviously, when I ended up getting really close to Kyle in the game, I think it did cause people to, or it caused Tiffany in particular to question that relationship. It caused other people in the cookout to question that relationship. And then, of course, once Tiffany was questioning it and didn't like it and was worried about him being close to me, that really caused her to go around the house and just try to get people to distrust me and start rumors about me and speculate different things and really push to get me out. And I think that definitely did hurt my game. But you know, at the end of the day, I still made it pretty far as members that weren't a part of the cookout. So you know, it kind of is what it is, but I do think it did hurt my game overall. I think if anything, it really worked to hurt my reputation among the fans, which then did directly result in me not getting BB Bucks, which did directly result in me not being able to play for Coin of Destiny. But you never know. I might not have won Coin of Destiny anyways, so you know, it's kind of hard to speculate about what could have or should have happened. But I do I do think the answer is yes. I do think it hurt my game. Absolutely. He will be Kyle for life. Yes. I mean, he thinks that I'm not going to call him Kyle, but I am. In my mind, he betrayed me. That was the deal. That's what I said. If he did it, if he betrayed me, I was going to call him Kyle forever. He did. So now he is Kyle. I'm not saying anybody else has to call him Kyle, but I'm calling him Kyle. Sorry, Kyle, if you're still on here. Do you have to cook your own food in jury? Yeah. There's like a stove. It's the same thing as in the house, basically. They provide you groceries, but you have to cook for yourself. Luckily for me, I was in the jury house with Derek, so Derek definitely cooked a lot. And I just ate the stuff that he cooked, so I kind of lucked out. How does it feel that you survived 3 more weeks than you were supposed to, Queen? It feels really good. It does make me feel good. Knowing that me winning that one HOH, like, because it's one thing to just win an HOH, but it's another thing to win an HOH when you needed to win that HOH. Like, you were going home if you didn't. And I won an HOH like that, and I almost won a veto like that too. So, I did my best. What was the slop? The slop is awful. I cannot express to you guys how awful the slop is. It's not the taste. It's really not the taste. It's the fact that it gives you crippling gas. It gives you stomach pain and constipation and gas and is so uncomfortable. And when I'm eating slop, I cannot sleep. I get no sleep at night. I just stay up hugging my stomach and being in pain. That is why the first week when I was on slop, I literally stopped eating slop. I think I ate slop for 2 days and then completely gave up and was like, I'm not doing this anymore. That was something I did not know, that nobody warned me about. The worst part of slop, it's not making it, it's not craving other foods, it's not the way that it tastes. The worst part of slop is the way it wrecks your stomach. And yeah, if I had ever been a have-not again, I fully intended to continue to not eat the slop. I was just going to drink protein shakes and eat pickles and olives. I was not doing it. I will never eat slop again. You cannot make me. I will never do it. It's not happening. No slop. Did you hear about Ozza burning down the house? I was still in the house then. I was. So I witnessed Chada getting flung off of the hammock, and then I witnessed going into the house and hearing that there was a fire in the kitchen. So I was definitely there for that. So let's see. Might answer another question. You guys are so funny with your questions. Y'all are really sweet, though. A lot of these aren't even questions. Y'all are just complimenting me. You guys are too nice. I really appreciate it. Oh, here we go. Who would you have taken to the final 3 and the final 2? So I'll go off, because obviously it changes throughout the season. But the week that I was on the block that I ended up going home, if Kyle had gone home instead of me for whatever reason and I had stayed in the game, my plan was definitely to try to get to the end with Claire, Big D, or Ozza. And ideally, I would have wanted to take either Claire, Big D, or Ozza to the final 2, because I felt at that point that I could probably beat them. So if I had stayed in the house, I would have tried to make that happen. But obviously, knowing what I know now, the only shot I would have had would have been sitting next to Claire, and I probably would have lost just because Tiffany hated me so much. So should I have made it to final 2, I wouldn't have gotten her vote or Chada's vote or DX's vote, because they were all very much under her influence. So I probably would have lost in all of those situations. But that was my plan. That's what I wanted to do. Then why put Claire on the block? I never put Claire on the block with any intentions of Claire going home. I was confident when I put her on the block that she was going to stay because I always intended on putting her beside someone who was a bigger target than her. And also, you have to remember that I didn't know about the cookout. So I didn't realize how much danger Claire was in when I did put her on the block because I thought there was a lot of other stronger players I could have sat her beside that she would stay. Um, um, you think I would have won against Big D? I don't. I don't think I would have won. Really? You guys think so? Well, it didn't happen anyways. So, um, why was no one surprised that you were a forensic chemist during the finale? I was shaking in my boots. I had already told everybody in the jury house what my occupation was. So everybody in the jury, even Kyle, because I had told Kyle before I left the house. So the only people who didn't know were Ozza, Xavier, and Big D. And I honestly don't remember what their reactions were, but finale night must have been super overwhelming for them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they just weren't having big reactions to things. But Ozza definitely came up to me after the show and was like, you know, you looked me in the eye and you told me that you were an administrative assistant and I believed you. So I think Ozza was surprised by it. Why do you call him Kyle? While we were in the house, I told him that if he betrayed me, I was going to call him Kyle for the rest of his life. It started out as a joke because we all had like initials on that represented our first names on like these little tags that went on our luggage, and his were KYL, which looks like Kyle to me, which is why it came up in the first place. But that's why. Um, Did you believe X was a bartender? No. Not a single person in that house believed X was a bartender. I think by week 2, not a single person in that house thought X was a bartender. We were not, nobody was fooled. What is your favorite Big Brother season? I think it changes, but right now I would say my favorite is season 8. I really like Danny. So seasons with Danny on them are close to my heart. I really like her first season. Did you know that Claire saw the big pic of you in your lab coat on the Big Brother stage day 1 and remembered that in the house? Yes. So that's something that I found out later. But I knew I was really frustrated because something you guys might not realize is when we did the jackpot slots, the slots thing, where they showed the messages and people were picking the teams on day 1, all of those messages were pre-recorded. So I had already, like days and days before we moved into the house, I had already chosen to lie and say I was a voice actress instead of saying I was a forensic chemist. So it was too late. I could not take that back. So then we walk in to move into the house. I'm with Tiffany, Claire, and Chada. And I turn around and I see this big picture of me and a lab coat. I cannot express to you guys how livid I was. I was so angry. And I thought, okay, my only hope now, because at that point I was like, I'm just not going to lie about it then. Obviously, these girls have turned around. They've seen the pictures. If I say I'm a voice actress, they'll know that I'm lying. And I didn't think I could get out of it. So I was like, at that point, I was thinking, I'm just going to be honest and tell everybody that I'm a forensic chemist. But then during the competition and the team selection, they played the clip where I said I was a voice actress. So then I was like, well, now I can't take it back. I've already lied to all of them. There's nothing I can do about it. So I just had to cross my fingers that they hadn't seen that picture, or maybe they were just like overwhelmed and didn't know who was who because we were wearing masks. And I just had to cross my fingers and hope that nobody noticed, because Big Brother production really screwed me over on that one. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, because I told them in all of my interviews while going through the casting process, and I filmed it for the videos for the slots team selection. They knew that I was lying about my occupation going into the house, and somebody still chose to put a picture of me in a lab coat really big on the stage where 3 other contestants could see it. So I hold production 100% responsible for that. That was so sloppy and embarrassing, and I'm still mad about it. I think luckily it didn't cause too much damage to my game. I think that by itself didn't. I think there was a combination of a lot of things that ended up damaging my game, because there was that. But then there was also the plane incident where a plane was like riding in the sky. And production said that it ended up having nothing to do with me, but people who saw it thought it said SBJ. So then there was this whole conspiracy theory about me in the house that I had like some sort of power or something, or that I was America's sweetheart and like stuff, and that I just needed to make it to jury. So those two things in combination that were completely outside of my control really did damage my game, and that's super unfortunate because I think I personally did things on my own to damage my own game, and I take full responsibility for those. But it does really stink to know that there were things going on completely out of my control that also damaged my game. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. Um, you could have said you were cosplaying as a scientist. That was actually something that I did think I might say. Like if someone really pushed it, I was thinking maybe I could say it was like a Doc Ock costume or something like that. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but nobody ever questioned me about it, so I was just kind of hoping nobody had seen it. But I did end up finding out that Claire had noticed. SB talking about the plane. Yeah, screw that plane. I'm so mad at that plane. I'm going to beat that plane up. SBJ, I hated that theory. It was annoying to hear them talk about it 24/7. I know, I know. All right. Well, Doc Ock Queen. I love Doc Ock. Female Doc Ock for life. Best thing ever. Do you like BB18 Bridget? Of course I like BB18 Bridget. Bridget is one of my favorite players. I named Bridget and Frank as my favorite duo from all the past seasons of Big Brother when I was filling out my bio and stuff to come into the house. So yes, I'm definitely a Bridget fan. So let me see. I think I'm going to answer one more question and then I'm going to end the live because I am getting a little bit tired. And I want to hang out with my mom. I think we're going to watch this new season of Leverage. If you've watched the TV show Leverage, which is really good. There's a new season of it out. I'm super, super excited and we're going to watch it together. Oh, here's a good question. Who do you wish you got to know better in the house to enhance your personal and strategic relationship with? I do wish that I had gotten a better relationship with Derek X. I think if Derek X and I had been working closely together, I think the two of us would have been a huge threat to the cookout because individually we were both really big threats to the cookout. And I think that we were both threats to each other, unfortunately, but if we had been working together, I think we could have, I still think that the cookout would have won out in the end, but we might have been able to break them up a little bit and cause a little more fun, a little more drama for the fans of Big Brother, because I know you like seeing alliances broken up. So I think both of us would have done better in the game if we had worked closer together. Unfortunately, you know, just the way the game went and who we ended up being friends with in the house, it just didn't work out that we were able to really trust each other or work with each other, and our loyalties just lied outside of each other, so it didn't happen. But if I could like wave a magic wand and go back in time and fix it, then that would definitely be something that I wish I could do. Because I think especially if early on, before week 5, if I had established a really strong relationship and even alliance with Derek X, then I do think the trajectory of this game would have gone completely different in ways that are positive for my game. But yeah, so that was the last question that I'm going to answer. But thank you guys so much for coming to my live. I will try to save it so it's up maybe for a little while for people who missed it. I don't know exactly how to do that though. So if I mess up and it doesn't happen, please forgive me. I don't understand technology. But oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for coming. I'll try to do some lives more often. And yeah, you guys are all so sweet. I'm having so much fun interacting with all of you on here and on Twitter. And I hope you guys all have a really nice night. Thanks for watching. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.